Welcome back to Turning Hard Times to Good Times. I'm your host, Jay Taylor, and I'm really pleased to have Chen Lin with me. Welcome, Chen. Thanks for joining me again. Well, great to have you as always. I know that you're very well plugged into what's going on in China. At least you have a lot of friends in China yet, and you talk to them on a regular basis. So I have a couple of questions that's related to COVID-19 and the also as well the trade wars and other things. We do have, unfortunately, seemingly a growing tension between the United States and China. But with respect to COVID-19, Chen, China has about, when I looked at the Johns Hopkins University website, they keep track of every country in the world, how many cases that are reported and how many deaths, and a lot of statistics there. And they show that China has only about 7% as many cases, I believe, as the U.S., and yet it has more than 4 times our population. So, quite naturally, a lot of Americans are wondering how reliable are those statistics, and I just thought I'd ask you if you have an opinion about that.
Yes, hi, Jay. This is a very good question. I got a lot of questions from friends, even subscribers on this topic. Sometimes it's a little bit sensitive, because there's the political things in between, but I'm looking for facts, right? And all my career, I'm just looking for real deal, right? The real stock, real fact. And then what I have is I talk to doctors in China. In Wuhan, it's very different. Wuhan, because people just die in their home. People just was locked down, right? So people may have a little symptom and then they cure themselves. So, and then testing was not widely available, especially in the first month. So Wuhan is a black hole. Okay, so actually nobody, even doctor told me they're probably much higher than they estimated, but we don't know. But I know that outside Wuhan, the data is almost as good as you can get. China, they basically track every patient. So Jay, if you were in China, okay, so you will know how many of your neighbors on your street have a COVID, which restaurant they went to, which shopping center, which supermarket they went. So actually, all this data is available on your cell phone, okay, on your app. So it's very hard to miss, or misinterpret a single case. So what I said, exactly what I have now is that 3 months ago when we were at PDAC for the Metals Investment Forum, my presentation was, I look at China, I cave out Wuhan, and this is a black hole. Outside China, I look at the fatality versus the infection. Those I believe is almost as good as you can get. I came out with a number, it's 0.8%. Okay, that was my presentation 3 months ago. It's still now. I really stand by the number. And right now you can see the number keep changing. Some say 10%, some say less than 1%. Right now even Dr. Fauci recently says about 1%. So after all these months, actually I feel I was right. The number, the estimate I have, 0.8, about 0.8, is probably the real fatality rate of the COVID-19. And it's from China, outside Wuhan. So I believe those data are very accurate.
Well, that's interesting because 0.8, of course, is much, much higher. 1% is much, much higher than the flu. Usually it's 1/10 of 1% or something like that. But it also seems, Chen, that there's an awful lot of people who may have had it, who are asymptomatic, who have had it. We just don't really know yet, I guess. But you're saying you're pretty confident with that. So I guess that makes a lot of sense. As you say, you're just looking for the facts. And okay, well, before the COVID issue came alive, of course, we had this trade warfare with President Trump launched a trade warfare against the Chinese. And how do you think this? I mean, this certainly doesn't make things better. If anything, this tension that seems to be, because I know every country has their propaganda, Chen. So I don't want to say one country has. Is telling the truth and the other country is telling lies. I mean, there's a mixture of both, I suppose, from everybody. But of course, there is this, there's this view in America, and the propaganda from here is that China launched this, or they didn't care, or they left the virus come to America, and they were indifferent about, and they sent people around the world, but they didn't leave people travel in China. So there is obviously a growing animosity between the two countries. What are your thoughts about that? And maybe combine that with the trade war. Do you think they're combined somehow, or do you think one might have followed the other, or what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, that's a very unfortunate event. I think what happened with COVID, and I was hoping, we can get along, but right now it does not look like. Right, there's a growing blame from United States, especially politicians on China, and then there's a lot of pushback from China. I can see even the ordinary people in China, they feel they're being humiliated. Okay, actually, they push. People, actually, there are a lot of people don't like the government in China. In China.
Yeah,
yes,
sure.
They're actually pushing them more towards the communists, right? So the party. So it's a big issue. It probably takes a long time to explain, but it's very, very bad. I feel very bad because I saw, like a couple of weeks ago, I saw, the corn, they couldn't harvest because they couldn't get out. They plow with all these farmers. I feel so bad. I said China probably can come in to buy those cheap corn and then show them, give them a goodwill to the American farmer.
Sure.
So I was buying in DBA the corn, but it's not happening. You know what I mean? So this is something is beyond us. It's very unfortunate. It could be a win-win situation, but it's not. It's getting worse. So for all I've been hearing, the two countries actually is getting worse. And so actually, what happened was, if you look back almost a year and a half ago when the trade war started, actually that's when gold turned around and started moving to a new high. So remember that was December of 2018, right? So that's when the trade war started. But so I think this round looks like they're going to together, United States and China, another round of trade war, and it will be very positive for gold. Okay, and I have seen today is the 19th day we have consecutive increase of the ETF holding. All the gold added together. Today is the 19th day. It happened 20 day. If there's a 20-day consecutive, it happened once in 2009 and once in 2010. What happened was a year from that, gold go up, average by 50%. Okay, so if we continue to increase, I see we will. The gold ETF increase today and tomorrow. We'll have 20 days, and I really see gold to go to 3,000. That's my target.
3,000. What time frame, Chen?
Well, by the end of next year, I say potentially. Of course, depends on a lot of factors, Jay, and then it may even go down first. Because I was explain to my subscribers, we are living at the mercy of the Bridgewater as all these big hedge funds. They're heavily into gold. If they have redemption, if they have liquidation, they sell gold. That's what happened when gold hit 1450 recently, right? It was a hedge fund selling. Now, last month, every month I check their performance, Jay. Last month, Bridgewater had a very good month, so because they are shorting oil. So now that we, at least I can sleep better. At least they will not be selling, at least in the near term. But who knows what's going to happen in the future.
Hey, all right, Chen. Well, just with a couple of minutes left here yet, you've done very well in the biotech sector. Do you see some things you like that any biotechs that are involved with COVID-19 projects?
Well, I had, I'm very fortunate this year. I got a 10-bagger out of my investment. It's called Corpicon, CAPR. I got in, when everybody was on sale at below $1, went to 11.
Beautiful.
Week, I think last week, it was very nice. So the company doing a raise yesterday, so it's good. It came down today, even it's a good day. If it really goes down before the next data come out, I may take another look. So that's the thing. I'm very excited. But in general, I feel the biotech, in general, is in the breakout mode. I feel of the COVID, you look at all the sectors, all the airline, all the cruise, all the other hotel, they're very hard to predict the future. But there are company can predict, which is a pharmaceutical and gold company who doesn't, who can go through this shutdown, right? So the short shutdown period.
Right.
So I feel the gold and biotech are the two best sectors right now. In
all right, very good, Chen. We're going to have to leave it go at that. And I just would like to tell people it's chenpicks.com, chenpix.com to consider subscribing to Chen's letter. It's an excellent letter. It's not inexpensive, but if you're a serious investor, you might do very well to consider subscribing. And Chen has done extremely well, especially in the biotech sector and the gold mining sector as well. So please do yourself a favor and go to chenpix.com. Chen, we'll have to leave it go with that. Thank you so much for being with us, and we'll do it again sometime soon. Folks, we do have to go to break now, but don't go away. Dan Oliver will be with us right afterwards. Dan has 3 different outcomes he's going to talk about, how this impending economic decline could shake out. One is his favorite, so stay tuned and hear what Dan Oliver thinks is most likely to happen as we go forward into the rest of this year.